Hey everyone, welcome back to the RoboSapien podcast season 2. In this episode, we are going to try something new. We are going to try an industrial platform that people are using nowadays, which was considered a very basic requirement for a website. But now it has become such a frugal part of our industry that every single person, from a housewife to an accountant, is using it very vigorously. सो आज हम ट्राई करने वाले हैं चैट जीपीटी एंड जेमिनाई बोथ एंड वी आर गोना कंपेयर बोथ ऑफ देम. जेमिनाई रिसेंटली रिलीज हुआ है एंड वी ऑल नो दैट there are so many rumors around it, but I think it would be better if we can bifurcate everything and go through everything and then come to a conclusion.
Correct. So today we are going to give you information about those ChatGPT and Bard integrated Gemini, and also about Gemini that is going to be released later on.
Yeah, so Gemini has 3 versions so far.
Yes.
That is the Ultra, Pro, and Nano version. Nano is integrated with Google Pixel 8.
Yes.
And Pro is integrated with Bard. The Ultra version is still not yet released, but it
will be released later on, and Google is saying that they will be integrating it with Bard and calling that Bard Advanced.
Yeah, so that is something that's going to happen in the industry. So let's start with the basics of discussing how the whole thing works.
Sure.
So so far what I've seen is that Bard is able to process images, codes, and able to work at different inputs rather than ChatGPT, which only works on text so far.
So ChatGPT does not works on only text. It's like that OpenAI has monetized the version in which the other versions like code and pictures and images can be processed. So it is ChatGPT 4, GPT-4, which is monetized version. You have to subscribe for it.
Do you think that they are also using the multimodality model rather than using multiple APIs, calling them separately and creating a link between all the services, which won't be intelligent? It will be a human programmed.
Yes. So if they are using multiple APIs, it will be like a programmed version, not an intelligent AI.
Yeah.
So my guess and what I have searched and I have researched about it is both of them. Either we take Bard or ChatGPT, they are using the multimodality, multimodal systems, right? And so for our guest, for the knowledge of our guests, the multimodality system is when we use multiple models for machine learning models, and we integrate them with one another and create a single model out of it.
Yeah, so it's more or less अगर layman term में बात करें तो rather than just processing text or just images or just video or just code snippets, it is going to process all of them together and it will be able to create a link between them. So
right.
You don't have to give it proper command like you have to do this and that and that and that, because it can create a link between the inputs you have provided. Of course, you have to give a prompt.
Correct.
So let's talk about that whole controversy, where Google actually marketed as when it was launched, it was shown as that it is working on a video rather than giving it as a prompt.
Correct.
But later on, when people started using it, people figured out that it is not using any video. It has to be given a prompt, which is not as beautiful as Google has shown it to be.
Correct. So basically, it was all a marketing gimmick that what ad Google has made for the Gemini, it was very intriguing to see.
Yeah.
Like it was very mind boggling. Oh my god, what AI has come to now,
Yeah.
that it is like conversing like a human being, and we
Yeah.
don't have to give it a prompt. But what Google has played with is, in the information section of that video, they have given a link how this video is made.
Yeah.
And in that video they have given that they have provided series of multiple photos in sync, and given it prompt with every other photo
Okay.
to get the response out of it,
Okay.
right? And also what Google has removed is the response time.
Oh,
What we
that
think,
is
yeah.
that is very, I think it's just a wrong thing to do to the public, because if you are
Yes.
launching a software or a product in the market and you are not 100%, at least not even 100%, let's say if you are 80%, transparent about it, that will make a huge difference.
Correct.
But that is not what Google did. Google has been doing this with Bard for so long. Bard was launched, it was advertised as it is going to be as good as ChatGPT and it is going to be better than it. It will have internet access, so it will be able to do the things you cannot even imagine.
Yes.
But when people started using Bard, they figured out that it lacks a lot of training, which ChatGPT actually requires. Google rushed the launch, and Bard became a initial failure. That's why ChatGPT is still
One of the
considered
best.
one of the best, even though Bard has improved a lot. Even though there are too many updates that are there in Bard, and things are getting better and better and better.
Correct.
So before we move forward, let's go to Google's
Wait.
website and see what about that.
Specification of the Gemini.
Not specification, what they have provided in the video.
Sure. So, while you do that, actually, I wanted to highlight that when Bard was launched, na, it was played on 2 points. Like there are 2 points on it. Bard played that it is uh, it is trained on the data of the current events.
Yeah.
Whatever the current events till 2023 were there,
Yeah.
it was trained till then.
Hmm.
But what was it was the drawback of ChatGPT, that it was trained on the data until only 2020, I guess,
Hmm.
right? So they played on that point. But where ChatGPT was like high powering the Bard was the amount of data that it had, the amount of training that it gave itself,
Hmm.
because ChatGPT had a run ahead of Bard. It was launched way ahead of Bard. So people were mad about it, and they started using it. So it got trained by human behavior. Bard somewhere still lacks that point.
So here we can see that a lot of it is actually, you know,
Just a
just
series of
a
photos.
series of images provided with prompts, no less. you know do you think it is a good strategy? No, it is not a good strategy. Like, I understand. I think at some level I believe that can be achieved by ChatGPT as well.
Yes.
It is not a really big deal of what Google has advertised it as. And yeah, there are too many videos now on Instagram and every other platform where they have shown how Google made a fool of people, and how they rushed the whole process of releasing Bard. And maybe they could have achieved what they have shown in the video, but they rushed the process.
Correct. And also, like when I was researching about it, in those prompts somewhere, it was there when it was the rock paper scissors game now. So it was written in the prompt that hint, it is a game.
Yeah.
So when you're giving it the series of images and you are even giving it a prompt, it still cannot fully understand that it's a game.
Right. And if we see here a sneak peek.
Hmm.
Okay, so give me three ideas of crochet creation with
Yeah,
these colors. So it
crochet
has
part of it.
provided these things. But when you actually go into detail and check this out, that can you show me the process or something?
Hmm.
It goes crazy and it just shows the starting somewhere in the mid and then the end. It does not show how the whole process works.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where it lacks. That's what I have tried. That's what Gemini is doing so far. Gemini Pro version so far.
Right.
Gemini Ultra, I cannot say anything about it specifically because, to be honest, I haven't tried it. They are not. I don't think there are any reviews around it either. Whatever people are talking about is either about Pro or the Nano version of Gemini.
So I haven't heard much criticism about the Gemini Nano version, which is integrated with the Pixel phones.
Yeah.
I think it is working well because I have read some articles regarding it. The
Yeah.
camera, because it is integrated inside the camera of Pixel 8 Pro, I guess. So in that, it is working like remastering the pictures that it captures and improves its quality. And also, if you want some editing part of it, because Pixel, Google has a very good algorithm of editing a picture.
Yeah, of course. That's what Pixel plays at.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what Pixel plays in. And so, and also integrated with Bard Nano. So it will get more enhanced. It will be much better than that.
And if we see, it was mostly people was excited about Bard or the Gemini Nano to respond back to the messages that were available on WhatsApp chats or text messages. So that's what people was more excited about, because people were thinking that if they can rather than responding themselves, if there is a AI assistant that can do that and do it proficiently
In their own
in
manner, like.
in the manner which they the way they speak,
Correct.
it will make their life easier. I don't know much how much it good of a strategy it is, because if it says something that was not supposed to be transferred from one conversation to another, if something between the distributor, seller, and the buyer, two conversations are going from at us in a at a seller's point, so if there is a conversation going between the distributor, seller, and the buyer, and seller is talking to the distributor and the buyer in the same chat, let's say on WhatsApp, and they are both different chats, but if one information of the distributor is somehow transferred to the buyer, it can leak the very potential information that actually helps out seller for for his earning his minimum wages.
Right.
That is one point I believe where these digital assistants can cause issue.
The major thing about the chat, Gemini Ultra.
I think there are so many terms
Yeah.
for just one particular technology, because they are all trained on different models. They are advertised at different concepts, but they are basically just one thing at the end of the day, and that's why when we use different terms, we do get confused. But one thing that the reason I'm talking about this is because the bias and ethical concerns. You know, uh, ChatGPT and Gemini both have the bias at some point, because they are trained on the data. They are continuously learning, of course, but they are trained on the data, and according to that data, there will be a bias that we all know is a problem with any machine learning algorithm. So far, it's not. I'm not saying it's a AGI or something where I expect it won't have that issue, but so far we have seen that is an issue. Plus, in the recent event that happened, the GPAI summit. So recently, when we went to the GPAI summit, there were too many conversations regarding the ethical concerns about the AI chatbots, and there was one issue that was mentioned in one of the conferences, where it was said that one AI platform was actually being used by a company, and there were lot of
Data leaks.
data available on the platform. And what happened is their competitor knew that they were using that platform, and when he went in and started asking that particular platform that how that company is working and blah blah blah,
Correct.
after a point it started leaking some and some and some and some,
Exactly.
and that caused the issue where people started recognizing the concerns about AI,
Yeah.
because that particular thing can actually that ethical uh, you know mislead can actually cause a tremendous amount of damage to many big corporations who are now relying on these AI chatbots.
Correct. So, what these AI chatbots developers did not keep in check was the notoriousness of the people.
You can for any
Uh-huh.
LLM model. It is very very difficult. You
Exactly.
can try whatever you want, but so far there hasn't been any LLM model which which is creative, as well as it is good at keeping the data separate for different parties.
Correct.
Right.
That's so true. And like the prompts that we were talking about, those are called Dan prompts.
Hmm.
Do anything I ask prompts.
Yeah.
So with those, many notorious people have hacked and caused many data leaks, which was available on internet.
I don't think it should be called hacked, because hacking is a very skilled technique that people use. But what
Yes,
I think it is it's just people stumbled upon something and they started misusing it.
correct. So a part of hacking is social engineering.
Yeah.
So social information gathering is a part of it,
Hmm.
and what the hackers have done is that social intelligence gathering part.
I think ये एक concern रहेगा बहुत
हाँ.
लंबे टाइम तक. And I believe both the big players of this field, the ChatGPT, the OpenAI team, and now Microsoft uh, is also with them. So
Mhm.
I think they are going to work on it. Microsoft is backing them up
Yes,
real good, and Google, of course, is going to work on this as well, because I'm sure Google do not want to be left behind in this race, because it these particular platforms are changing the way we search online, we get the information, and
correct.
it can actually change how we retrieve information from the internet. And Google being the biggest search engine online,
It
it
has
has
upper hand.
it had an upper hand so far.
Yes,
But if it won't work the
correct,
way the way it should, it has to get to the pace of the other companies,
correct, correct,
the companies he was not even concerned about, like OpenAI, and now they are changing the way searching and getting information is
correct.
works.
And as a software engineer, my searching patterns have drastically changed since the Chat GPT has launched.
Yeah.
Previously, we had only one source, that was Google. And in Google, there were multiple websites. And now, if any problem comes, first I go to Google,
Mhm.
as my habit is there. Second, if I don't find in the first five links, then I go to ChatGPT. That what is the solution for this? I am having this problem, and do you have any suggestions on this part? So, if it finds the answer, it is really good. And when we were talking about the race part, that Google have to keep up with the race with other companies. Recently, I have read about one article which was that there was a potential sneak peek that ChatGPT 5 may be getting launched in next few years. Not recently, but next few years.
Yeah, of course, there's going to be something like that. But
Yes.
first, they have to, deliver what they have already promised. That is that platform where anybody can go in and create their own chatbot. I believe that is going to change this particular business, which was focused on creating chatbots and AI
Hmm.
chatbots. Now, I think since ChatGPT is launching such a big platform, it is not only going to change those industries, but it is also going to change every single other industry where the automation is performed, right? Because then there won't be just automation done in a particular order. It can be dynamic based on
On
the
the input.
input of a person present there, rather than just let's say you are doing accountancy, and that process is automated, that you just put your bills inside a OCR, it scans it, note down the data, and it do all the work on its own. Rather than that, you can just pass the bills, you can show it the bills that requires the human intervention, you can just show it the bills, tell it, rather than doing a human level job, you can just tell it that yeah, these kind of bills are there, and it can learn on that and then perform accordingly. So
Hmm.
those things will be done, I believe, and human intervention
Will be less.
will be less and less and less. But yeah, of course, whenever a new field comes in, another new fields, another new
Emerges.
streams
Correct.
emerges, in which people get the job, people get into, because that is what human civilization has done so far. It has moved from one point to another, rather than writing down everything in a notepad and calculating everything and doing that. We started actually writing down in a computer.
Correct.
Then came the mobile phone, then came the smartphones, then now we have tablets and god knows what, right?
Correct.
I can just type here and call anybody right now
True.
and text you anything.
So one of the major examples, other than this, also I can think of is what we do.
Hmm.
We as software engineers do the automation part of the layman work, which
Yeah.
was already there. Correct. But also when we automate that part, some jobs were removed from the
Mm-hmm.
industry,
Mm-hmm.
but also some jobs like automation engineer and automation support, they
Yeah.
also came in, they also emerged, they also
Yeah.
came into light. So as you were saying, once one part of jobs get removed, others also emerges.
Yeah, and actually, let I don't think like there's a big concern among engineers, among software engineers. People uh, are coming to me. My juniors from college are reaching out to me and asking me that yeah, we are doing software engineering,
Hmm.
but what is the
Will it be
future
worth?
now? What if they create a software platform which starts writing the script rather than we writing the scripts ourselves? So I think that is first thing, that is very far away.
Yeah,
Try
so far
using
away.
try using any chat platform, chatbot platform, and ask it to write a script which is a bit more complicated.
Yes, it will
So
only give the boilerplate code.
yeah, so there are so many things, in a software engineering pipeline that people don't understand. That you have to get the client requirement, you have to, break it down to a human level, like first principle level, and then you have to build up according to that,
Correct.
right? And that process, I think, yeah, that will be automated in coming years, maybe, but I don't think that can be fully automated, because a human intervention and a human touch and
Is
a human understanding of another human is something no artificial intelligence can do, right?
Correct. People can lose jobs because of AI, but they won't be, because AI will be doing their job, because they are not getting the help of AI to do their
Yeah,
job.
so you have to see, whenever there's a thing, whenever something new comes in, you have to jump on it and
Train yourself on
train
it.
yourself around it. You know, there is a new industry trend. Let's say you are a JavaScript developer.
Mm.
There is a new library that every single person is using, and you know it is slowly becoming an industry standard. So rather than using that library, you are just saying that what if it takes my job, what if it takes my job.
Ah,
So rather than doing that,
you
a
have to learn about it.
what a software developer will do is either it will be strong armed by the manager or somebody who is a leader in the who is leading them towards their journey,
Mm.
is going to make them learn, or they will learn by themselves.
Correct. So it is a continuous learning process.
Yeah,
Being in any industry, because there is in there every industry is going and growing in their own way.
yeah,
So no matter what industry you are in, you have to learn new things
right.
whenever they come.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't matter. If we move from this, the social aspect of these AI platform,
Hmm.
and we start comparing them, so I think it will be easier if we can just go to the Gemini's website and check out their capabilities part, where we can see the comparison between the two models.
Correct. The benchmarks comparison.
So these are the benchmarks, which is basically the it is basically the data set on which different models are trained, and these are data set on which the different models are tested, and the way they perform is what the benchmark is how the benchmark is set.
Correct.
So the highest, if let's say there are 5 models,
Mm.
and one model performed really well and it gave 97% accuracy, that will become the benchmark. And if you perform
Yes.
better than it or worse than it, or if you are comparing two models on the particular data set, that will become a benchmark for those two models, like which one performed better, which one performed worse, like a test.
Correct. It's like a test.
So all these are models for different purposes. This is just a general model that MMLU. They are reasoning models, they are math models, coding models, which you can use to write programs. So here we can see it is usually showing that
Gemini
Gemini
Ultra
Ultra
is
is
outperforming the GPT-4 benchmarks.
okay.
And in an article I read that out of 32 benchmarks, 30 Gemini Ultra was outperforming GPT-4.
Yeah, 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 that is true. But it was only when the multimodality was in picture. If you remove that and compare,
Hmm.
you'll see that GPT-4 is performing somewhat better than Gemini Ultra.
Yes. So I have researched on it, and it was like what you are saying. If we go into the technicality of it, it was like in these multiple benchmarks, the Gemini Ultra was doing good. That is correct. Okay, but that's one more marketing gimmick that Google have done is on their main page. I think Gemini Era. They have, yes, this one. Go down, go down.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was, I was,
this,
we were seeing that only. So,
yes, no, just above it. They have given a large graph where they have
oh
told,
yeah, this one.
yes, this one.
Yeah,
So where they have told that GPT-4 is doing 86 point giving 86.4% of the results, where Gemini Ultra is giving 90% of the results correctly. Okay, so what marketing gimmick here is that Google have changed the model they train on generally. So there are two types of models. One is 5 shot learning and other is COT. chain
Yeah.
of thought.
So
Okay.
it has used COT model. We can see it here written COT at the 32.
Yes, correct.
So I think the 32 is the parameters it has used, and COT is the model.
Model, correct.
And this is the human level output. The
Human
percentage
experts can
human
give.
experts can give on the MMLU data.
So Google has used the COT 32 for training their Gemini Ultra,
Yeah.
for giving the benchmarks for Gemini Ultra,
Yeah.
and for the they have shown GPT-4 as trained on 5-shot learning.
Yeah.
So when checked, people also checked the Gemini Ultra score for 5-shot learning.
तो
So
5 शॉट लर्निंग पे
इतनी अच्छी नहीं
इतनी
थी.
अच्छी आउटपुट नहीं था उसका
करेक्ट.
कंपेयर टू GPT-4 एंड GPT-4 ज्यादा अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहा था.
करेक्ट. सो उसको अच्छा दिखाने के लिए जेमिनी अल्ट्रा को कैसे अच्छा दिखाए, मार्केटिंग कैसे करें उसकी, तो इसलिए उन्होंने कॉड 32 यूज किया कि भाई देखो इतनी हमारी बढ़िया आ रही है.
That's very nice. That's very nice. Okay, and these are just the models, and here we can see that at 10 shot, we can see it here.
Yes.
At 10 shot, GPT-4 is performing 95% and it is performing 87%. So this is actually these percentage are basically the accuracy of the output, how accurate the output is according to what task it was given.
Correct.
And this is for reasoning. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think so far what we can say is that both the platforms have their pros and cons. Some one is good at creativity and performing multiple tasks separately, and one is good at giving multiple inputs multiple inputs that are of different type, and
linking-
combining it and processing it accordingly.
Correct.
So yeah, there are pros and cons of it, and I believe both the parties are making it better and better and better day by day.
Day by day.
But so far, first thing, it's not gonna take anybody's job.
Correct.
Secondly, yes, we are going to see many versions of these things. And third, I think that we can expect in the future that there will be AI assistants, not replacing humans, but AI assistant actually helping out humans in the day-to-day layman task.
Correct. So it will be more like Jarvis than Ultron.
It could be both of them depending who is using.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you very much for listening to us today. We have discussed both Gemini and ChatGPT and their pros, cons, and everything there is.
Do check out if you have interest in AI and let us know what are your findings, and we would be very glad to know about them.
Yeah. Do share in the comments whatever you find. If you think we missed something, if you want us to talk about any particular technology, share or try out, then do text us in the comments. Let us know. And thank you very much for watching RoboSapien podcast.
Thank you.